So I've opened up my template. There is my alligator, and that's her name, and I'm going to duplicate that layer by right-clicking it so I have two of them. And right now they're both right on top of each other. The best way of making it symmetrical and next to each other is by increasing your canvas size. So up here in my Photoshop, and I can't get to see if I can, my screen is in two different spots, so I won't be able to do that on the video, but at the very top up here where it's image, you can pull down image to canvas size and increase your canvas. So right now it says my width is 6.7 wide and height 9.16. And the easy way that I do that is I round it up. So instead of 9.167, it would be what? 10 inches, right? 9.167, rounded up, it's 10. And width is 6.717, and rounded up, that's 7. So I am now going to click here, and I'll make the width 7, and I'll make the height 10. Because that's so much cheaper than, easier than trying to put those numbers in. And this will make the canvas size bigger in the middle, but if I click over here on this arrow over here, it will make that canvas size there, and this be the blank space. So that's what I have done. That over here, my canvas has gotten wider, and then I have the blank space over here. All right, so if I make that where I fit it on the screen, you can see that I have room now for 4 alligators. So I can just move her up, and I can move that one down because I already duplicated it before we started. All right, and if it's going to be symmetrical, they need to face each other. All right, so I can duplicate both those layers at the same time if I hold down my shift key. So I'm on the layer 0, and I will click on the layer 0 copy, and they're both gray because I've held down my shift key, and now I can right click and duplicate both layers. And that's okay. So I've got 2 more layers exactly right. And in order to be symmetrical, then if I move them over, they're not going to be quite symmetrical because they're all facing the same direction. So the 2 that I've just moved over, I'm going to go to Edit, and I'll pull down to Transform and Rotate. I want to transform, I want to flip horizontal, excuse me. Now my alligators are all there, and they're facing each other. All right, and I think that fits on the screen. All right, so now I can go into my analogous colors, and I can start to choose what color I want it to make it. And so in order for you to see your colors well, I want you to go to Windows and pull down to Swatches. And there are a lot of different swatches there. The swatches that you can choose from, here's my swatches. If you click here, where'd my swatches go? Swatches, and that's just turning it off and on. Here, we'll go to swatches, pass. It's not letting me choose my library there with that. See, you may just have 4 or 5 swatches show up. I'm trying to get you to the, because it used to be a a little working tool, and I don't see the working tool there. We'll just have to pull it up and down. So right now I could get all shades of blues and have kind of a blues and a green. So I have 3 different swatches and a purple. And I can step backwards. I've got to pull him back over there again. I can just take my color paint bucket tool, if I can get this to get out of my way, and edit, transform, flip horizontal, and pull them back up in place. All right, so I could just take my paint bucket tool and decide what colors that I want to use that are analogous next to each other in the color wheel. I could go with pinks and purples and blues, or blues and greens and yellows, or ones that are next to each other. And I could just take a row up and down and use that as analogous colors. So if I start with pink, and I'm just going to pick on one bulldog at a time, I could just color the background pink, and then maybe choose a different pink next to it for another background. Oops. Got to get on that layer. All right, so I've got, that maybe is a little too close. Let's try this one. So then I could color around the outside of all of them just with different tones of pink. And I did that twice. Click on the right layer. Let's do the bottom layer. Click on, if it pours it everywhere and you're on the right layer, you can click on it with a magic wand tool. I don't think I'm on the right layer. That's the problem. There it goes. So if you have trouble with it pouring on your layer, you can do the magic wand tool. All right, so now I have 4 of them, and as long as I'm coloring them with analogous color, you've got, it's symmetrical, you have an analogous, and you've included shapes. So that is one positive way of doing that particular assignment if you want. All right, so I'm going to save the video and stop here, and I'll let you look at what you're doing, and I'll get that up there online for you, and put it in your lesson board, and then I'll go over how to make it be positive and negative shapes if you want.